Okay friends, this is Carrie at Rockin G Farm, and I'm just going to do a little bonus video this week because I am off this weekend because I took off because of the eclipse. I didn't want to drive with all the traffic that's going to be in town, and so I am going to try to make some sourdough. I do this recipe all the time, but I thought I would just join you, and I will add the recipe link in the description. This is the one I use all the time. One or two times it failed, but I think it was my fault because I let it proof too long. This is the Farmhouse on Boone no knead sourdough bread. Now, the one thing about this sourdough bread, it does take 2 days to make it. So I got up this morning at 5:30, fed my sourdough, went out, did some chores, and now it is 11 or 12 o'clock. My sourdough starter has doubled in the oven just because that's where I keep it because it's warmer there. So I'm like, I got to use it now because if it starts to deflate, it won't rise my bread. So I'm just going to let you watch me today. Just to do a little bit, I've got some water warming up on the stove because I'd like to keep my water just right around 100 degrees, and it's just a little chilly, so let me go turn that off real quick before it goes to boiling or it will ruin my sourdough starter. Okay, I'm just going to let it sit there on the stove. As you can see, this is totally unplanned, guys. I just said, well, I'm doing this. Let's just turn the video on and let's go. So I've got the biggest bowl I've got. Y'all, when I moved from our old house that we were in for 25 years, I left the largest bowl that I got for our wedding in the dishwasher. And this is the largest one I have. So I have to wash and use like my mixing bowl and everything for making sourdough because I don't have big enough bowls. I tried to pick one up at the Goodwill yesterday, but it was cracked. But I was like, oh, look at how big that bowl is. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, I will get a big bowl at some point in time. So anyway, I've got a big bowl. I'm going to put it here, and I have my scale, and I've already zeroed it out. So now I'm going to add 200 grams of unbleached all-purpose flour. And I already have some here. I just finished my jar, so let's just measure this out. 500 grams. It does take quite a bit of flour to make these, but it does make 2 loaves, and they are really good. I really enjoy them. My son-in-law loves sourdough bread, so if I make some and I'm not going to be able to eat it, I'll take it to him and my grandson will have it eaten within like 20 minutes. Oops, a little too much. Let's take some of that out. My hands are clean. Been in the kitchen cooking my lunch so I could eat. So that's 500 grams of all-purpose unbleached. Well, mine says bleach, but I couldn't find bleach. I remember that the other day at the store. So if you can use unbleached flour, use unbleached flour. I used what is available at my local store. And then I'm going to use some wheat flour, 200 grams of whole wheat flour. I'm going to zero out my scale again to 0 grams. Oh, just got a text from my son-in-law. He is a police officer. He said, Conway is already a madhouse. We are expecting 40,000 people to come into the town where I live. We're a town of about 10,000, or so says our population sign. So you can see that infrastructure is not going to hold an extra 40,000 people on a whole weekend. So anyway, that's why I'm not working this weekend, but I did want to go shopping today. Dang it. Anyway, we're going to get back to this. 20 grams of whole wheat flour. No, sorry, 200 grams. See, I'm getting frustrated somebody said something else. Lines of campers. That's what I saw. Let me see what he said. Lines of campers everywhere. Where did that go? We'll get to the bottom of it. Conway is already a madhouse, and there's a line of campers and RVs going north, which we were told that our road would take 3 days to clear after the eclipse. So I guess it's starting. Of course, we knew it would. It's always, where we live is a bad area around holidays anyway. It will take you an hour to get from one end of the town to the other end of the town, and it's like maybe 8 miles. So it's gonna be bad. So let's just make some more sourdough and make us all happy. I do have the guy coming to help me with my website today. I hope he can make it. If not, we'll reschedule. You just roll with the punches. Okay, let's get back to the whole wheat. We are at 17 grams and we need 200. Just go ahead and laugh, guys. Just have fun with it. Just enjoy life. Enjoy being silly. Enjoy taking time off. Enjoy baking, making things beautiful. Just enjoy the time. My kitty cat, I think, is hungry or wanting out. She'll have to wait just a little bit. So right at 200 grams of whole wheat flour. And then we are going to have 250 grams of bread flour. Well, I'll just wait because y'all are watching, so let's get this done. Okay, bread flour. So guys, whenever you do get flour, it's best for you to put them in the freezer for a week or so, just in case there's any bugs, to kill those bugs. And then also I either store mine in, if I have room, I will store them in the freezer or the refrigerator. If I don't, I will, after I put them in the freezer for a while, I will store them in either Ziploc baggies or airtight glass jars. But right now I'm using Ziploc baggies. Just a little FYI for people who don't cook a lot. I'm just trying to teach. Okay, so 250 grams of bread flour. Okay, make sure I got the right thing. Bread flour. Got that. And now I am going to add, go to my recipe at the bottom. Combine warm water and flour and allow to rest for 30 minutes. How much water? 650 grams of warm water, not hotter than, I would say 103, 105. And my water is just warm. I wanted it just a little bit warmer than room temperature, but I will just get my thermometer out and make sure that it is not way too hot. I know it's not because it didn't start to boil. We have it a little hotter. It's right at 90 degrees, which is just barely warm, but at least it's not cold. So we're gonna go ahead, 650 grams of water. Go really, really slow so you don't accidentally put too much water in here, because you can't take all the water out, just little by little. And you need to stop in between every once in a while to let the water settle, because when it's moving around, it doesn't give you the accurate weight. So let it settle, and then it'll measure everything, and then go ahead and finish up pouring some more in. Haha. Wow, that was really good. I almost just the right amount. Okay, and so what we're going to do, we're going to combine this water and the flour for 30 minutes, and it's going to actually let the flour hydrate, because even though we're mixing it, flour does not readily take in that moisture. So the longer you let flour set with the water, it absorbs more of that moisture. And for the time of me, I am forgetting the name, what it's called. I should know. Anyway, let me go ahead and mix this, and then we're going to let it rest for 30 minutes. Gonna move that off of my scale just so that it won't accidentally make it not accurate anymore. You always want to try to get anything that's sitting on your scale off the scale as soon as possible so you don't mess up the balance of your scale. And you can see how I'm mixing that, and that water doesn't really look like it's absorbing. So that's why we're going to let it set for 30 minutes. We do live close to several state parks and lakes. Of course, everybody lives close to a lake in Arkansas. There's a lake within 15 minutes of anyone's house. So that's probably where all the campers are going, is probably up to some of the lakes and some of the state parks around. So just, yeah, it's 12:30. School's gonna get out at 3. I'm sorry, I have to laugh because these people have no idea what they're in store for, because we don't have enough stuff to take care of 40,000 people. How funny. All right, put that in there. Oh yeah, that's pretty warm. Okay guys, I'm almost done with that. I'm not wanting to actually mix this. I'm just trying to get all of the flour kind of incorporated just enough so that it can start hydrating. And I did an uh-oh this week. I left my sourdough starter out on the cabinet, and we had some hot days, and I didn't feed it, so it molded. Now, if you're going, oh my gosh, it molded. Well, let me tell you, sourdough sitting on the counter, if you feed it, it will not mold. But if you leave it on the counter and do not feed and water it, it will mold. So just be aware of that. I do have 2 extra backups in my refrigerator just for things like that happen. And I also sell the sourdough leftover, or the sourdough discard that I have. That's why I have 2 jars in there. So I've got a big backup, and that's what happened for this. So I was like, oh, I want to make bread, and I looked over and I was like, oh, great. But I had sourdough discard saved in my refrigerator, so that saved my behind on that. So let's go ahead and put a top on this, and we will come back in 30 minutes, so that will be right at 1 o'clock. Oopsie. I love these things if they were just a little bit bigger. Well, I just tore that one. Okay, we're gonna leave that there. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Okay guys, it's been 30 minutes, so now I'm just going to add my sourdough starter to the flour mixture. We are going to add 200 grams of mixture that is active and bubbly. And if you can see this, how much bubbles there's in there, that is the active sourdough, and that's exactly the right time that you need to use it. You don't need to let it grow, then start to deflate again. You need to use it as soon as it gets to the top of that growth. So that's what we're doing. We're going to put my bowl right here on my scale. We're going to put in 200 grams of mature starter and 20 grams of salt. So, see my scale fixed here. Okay, so 200 grams of mature starter. That's going to take that whole bowl. All right. Well, that's still not too. Okay, yeah. As you can see, it's mixed up just a little bit there, and then we're going to go ahead and put it back on the scale. And add 20 grams of salt. Then we're going to just continue to mix that in. And just push, and that's all we're going to do is just be putting it right back in to the dough. And we're just going to be mixing. I'm going to do that for just a couple minutes to ensure that that salt is fully incorporated into the dough. Okay, I do believe that'll be it. And then we're going to cover it with a plastic wrap, and we're going to let it rest for 30 minutes. I have Dr. Pepper, and I think I might have a couple of A&W root beers. Would you like one?
I will take a Dr. Pepper.
Okay. Do you want ice?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, guys, I have let my sourdough rest for 30 minutes, and we are going to do our first stretch and fold. So let's go ahead and get this done. I will probably get a little bit of flour for my hands. This will be the last one, and then we are going to let that rest for 15 minutes and do some more stretch and folds. Okay, we're going to do, oops, got that on there. We're going to do another set of stretch and folds, and we're going to do this 3 times every 15 minutes. So this is number 1. I usually go around the bowl, spin it around about 4 times to make sure that we get it all in here. Okay, friends, we are doing our last stretch and fold. We did 3 every 15 minutes, and then we did 3 every 30 minutes. Now I'm doing my last one, and then we are going to let it ferment bulk until it doubles. And then we have some more stuff to do before I can go bed. I'm just going to stretch and fold. This is, I don't know if I like this recipe just because it takes a lot of time. I mean, I think I might want to just go ahead and knead it because I don't know if I like having to do all these stretches and folds, because I like to get my stuff done and go on to the next project. Who knows? I just need to find a good sourdough recipe that does that. But this is the one that so far has worked for me. So it's the one I've been sticking to, even though it takes a long time. It does take 2 days. It takes 1 solid day, and then you get up in the morning and you put it in the oven. So 1 solid day. So maybe on a rainy day, that would be best. Not a day that you have to do tons and tons of stuff. But I think this is it, guys. And so I'm just going to kind of flip it over a little bit. I'm going to get this wet, and then we'll put it in the oven. Okay, so my house is just a tad cold. So what I'm going to do is put this in the oven with the oven light on. That way it will heat up just enough to help this bulk ferment really quickly instead of hours upon hours, because we are in a cold house or a colder house. You know, it's still kind of springish, winterish. Yeah, you know. Let me put it in the oven real quick. And then I think I might go read a book while that bulk ferments. But guys, I'll be back to show you the rest of this. Okay, friends, we are ready for our last 2 steps before we are done with this bread for the evening. It is now about 8:30 at night. Let me wash my hands. We are going to split the dough in half. We're going to shape it and let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're going to put it in our bowls and put it in the refrigerator for overnight. Like I said, this recipe is an all-day thing. And like I said, I have to go get some more large bowls. I also need another Benetton basket. Benetton basket. Okay, so now you can see how it has doubled. See all the air bubbles in it. That is a very good sourdough bread. Let it fall out. Boy, that's a lot of bread. Oopsie. We're just gonna cut it down the middle into 2 halves. Oh yeah, I think this has been the best so far. Okay, and then we're just gonna shape our dough. Some flour on my fingers and on my pastry mat, just so that it will kind of give me not stick so much. Don't want to put too much extra flour in there, but I also don't want it to stick to my hands when I'm trying to shape it. 15 to 20 minutes uncovered. So I'm going to just leave this right here. I'm gonna go finish reading some of my book. I've got stuff all over me. And we'll be back to put these in their bowls for the evening. Okay guys, it's been 15 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn these over, reshape them again, and put them in their baskets and their bowls to be put into the refrigerator overnight to bake until I bake them in the morning. 'Ready? I'm gonna go ahead and do the same with this one. Put a little bit in the bottom of that one. We are going to put a plastic wrap in the bowl. And we're going to sit these in the refrigerator until tomorrow morning when I get up. So anywhere from 12 to 15 hours. Probably won't be quite that long because it's 9 o'clock now. I usually get up about 5, so a little less than 12 hours, but they should double in size, and we'll see in the morning how it goes. Okay guys, it's the next morning. I am starving and I've got to get this bread in the oven because I got to feed my belly because I'm hungry. So let me get those out of the refrigerator. So they're actually in probably, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock, so I should have got them out around 9, but 10 o'clock's good. But you can see how much they have risen. How awesome is that? I'm gonna have some good sourdough this afternoon. Awesome, awesome. Oh, look at this one. Still need to get another bowl. Look at that, although that, look at that. How awesome is that? Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we'll just do this one first. Put this one, actually, put this one back in the refrigerator because I can only cook one at a time because I only have one pan. And you want to keep it in the refrigerator because it makes it easier to score and do your pretty top design on top. So now I'm just gonna kind of flip this over just real softly. I don't want to deflate any of the bubbles because the bubbles are what's going to make it nice and high. So I'm just going to do this. Don't have a razor blade, so I'm just going to use a serrated knife. And you do have to go cut down. You can kind of feel it when it pops. No, top's not gonna go split. I'm gonna have to, when you use a serrated knife, you'll feel it kind of split that first layer. There we go. Sometimes you might have to saw a little bit. I guess that if I continue to make, which I will continue to make sourdough bread, I'll need to invest in the razor blade thing, which this morning I'm not worried about that. Let's do that. I'm gonna need some parchment paper. Probably should have already put this on parchment paper when I laid it out. A smidge of cornmeal on the bottom of my pan. My Dutch oven, they say it helps it not to burn on the bottom. I've always done that. Who knows? So you always want your pans hot. Let's put a little bit of cornmeal on the bottom. This one is not hot, which should have been, but oh well, that's how I do my sourdough bread. Let's put it in. Okay, we want that in for 20 minutes on 500, and then we're going to take the lid off, turn the temperature down to 425, and bake it for 25 minutes till it's golden brown. So let me do 20 minutes. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to make something to eat while that's doing it, and then we'll come back and do the next one. Haha. It's morning, babes. I'm hungry. Okay, guys, it's time for the lid to come off. Put it up there. And cook for another 25 minutes at 475. Ooh, look at that. Let me give you a quick peek, and then we'll get it back in the oven. Ooh, quick peek, quick peek. Okay, go down to 475. And we're going to time it for I'm gonna do mine for 23 minutes because I don't like mine to get really super dark on top. So we'll see. I'm gonna go finish my breakfast, and then we'll get the other banana bread, and then we'll get the other sourdough bread in the oven. Okay, bing bang. The dinger went off. Let's see. Still got a little too dark. Oh, yeah, baby. That looks awesome. Oh, awesome, awesome. Looky here, guys. Looky there. Looky there. That is what I say is sourdough bread. Yep, yep. Of course, I don't have a real pretty picture on it, but that's okay. It still tastes awesome. Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave that one there and get that other one out ready to put in its place. Oops. Bake. Okay, we're ready. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yep, yep. Yep, yep. I did forget to put some flour out here earlier. And that, my friends, is beautiful.